outnumbered overtime. Oh, gee, baby. So I was made fun of a little bit on the couch today because I had some extra energy. And so what did you do this weekend? I actually got to hang out with Sandra
and Kennedy.
Weekend. Yes, I didn't see you, but I heard you were there.
Oh, this is some of the people from our table.
There's the mooch in the back.
So for all the wrestling fans, that's John Cena up in the top right,
cool.
the big dude.
Huge.
And his girlfriend, his lovely girlfriend in the white and black floral dress. She is very famous in her own right. She's a big wrestler.
She and her twin sister. Yeah, that's Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella of the Bella twins. I was like, who's she? I look her up. She's got like,
she's gorgeous.
7 million followers.
Real
I'm like,
wrestling or fake wrestling?
No, WWE.
Well, that's fake wrestling.
We went around the table at one point.
It's not real.
We went around the table at one point and
that's Anthony Scaramucci and his lovely wife and Harrison.
And just asked people to share whatever they wanted to share. It was like a family group time.
Oh my gosh!
Table.
Okay, as a controller, I'm listening because this really happened. Harris decided to do let's all say who we are and what we do.
But no, she did not. But not your job. We had a couple of Hollywood writers at our table, and it was really fun to hear the things that were important to people.
So what was the most fun thing that you heard?
Well, hearing about Nikki and John Cena's how they met and their love.
Well, and Anthony Scaramucci, who has been a one lucky guy once on this couch, he also is like a part owner of the Mets and things like that. He's a big
owns a restaurant not far.
So we were going to some of the before parties, right? And
not the after.
No, the before parties.
I
wasn't on a list anywhere, but luckily ABC they weren't at all picky about. No.
Yeah. So
last year ABC had iPads, and we kind of fudged our way in. This year it was all comers. So we went to the ABC party. I'm like, let's go to the CBS party. So we go upstairs to the CBS party. I run into Jesse Waters. I run into Sandra Smith, and we're like, come on, we're going to the CBS party.
Actually, she didn't ask. She just grabbed me and said, let's go to the CBS. That's actually where we're going.
Yeah. So we all walk in, and of course they have iPads, and apparently 17-year-old young women who were running the iPads, and they were given very strict orders not to let anyone in unless their name was on the iPad.
Oh,
so I walk up, she goes, what is your name? And I said, Kennedy. And she looks at Jesse and goes, Anthony Kennedy? And he said,
oh my God.
He said, yep, that's me.
That's
and
awesome.
she goes, okay. And so we all walked into the parade together. And I said, congratulations, Justice Kennedy.
Oh, that's great.
Wow. You guys are killing me. I was at a family wedding. I was at a family wedding. I missed the whole thing.
The other thing we realized that
cousins, very cute. Not to each other. No, that came out wrong. Yeah, a cousin got married to someone who's unrelated to us. Yeah, so it was great. But
do we have another picture? Can we pop up another picture?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to see.
By the way, have these things become just total celebrity gabs?
Hold on.
Are there any journalists besides yourselves that go there?
Yes, David.
Jason Rezaian.
Oh, he's the Washington Post guy.
Who was held in Iranian captivity. And tortured, and you remember his wife and his mother tried so hard to not just bring notoriety to what was happening with him, but just to win his freedom.
Didn't the president point him out? I think he did in the audience. It was a good reference.
Oh, he spoke.
He spoke. And so what was great about meeting Jason was just hearing how he is so anxious to know about everything that's going on in the world now. I mean, just to know that there was somebody.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, just think about that. He was one of the keepers of the information and would disseminate it to the rest of us. And in captivity,
he was deprived of it.
Okay, but by the way, last year at the 2015 White House Correspondents' Dinner, everyone was wearing Free Jason pins.
Yes.
So and that was the big thrust of the party was to try and get Jason Rezaian and some of the other hostages, American hostages in Iran, freed.
And there he was.
And what a difference a year makes. And there he is
Wasn't
at the
Jerry
event.
Seib on the dais? Jerry Seib was from the Wall Street Journal. Was on the dais there,
yes.
the president, because he was held captive in Iran for a week when I was at the Wall Street Journal. He was held.
Wow.
I mean, they just grab people. That'd be a tough assignment to cover Iran, no matter how many credentials you have, no matter how safe you're supposed to be.
Thank God we have
do it at any
journalists who are
time.
willing to show us the darkest corners of the earth and to shine that light. I mean, Jason is a hero, and his family, just they were there. His brother was with him. I mean, didn't you feel just like a big sigh of relief when he walked up on that dais?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had forgotten about the pins that Kennedy's pointing out, but just hearing him, he gave out the awards. He recognized the other journalists. It was really, really a touching moment. And then we have one more because now the new Independence movie is coming out.
Oh, I can't wait.
So Vivica Fox has not aged. I mean, look at her on the left. Is she not gorgeous or what?
Yes.
She was at one of our Fox tables,
You
too.
and Sandra look hot.
Oh, aw, that's so sweet.
I loved
Kennedy.
those earrings, by the way.
So, Kennedy,
Thank
we
you.
will buy your lunch for the next month.
Nice. Yeah.
She was great. She was really great. And Will Smith and his wife were there.
Oh,
So it was
that's
like
fun.
an Independence, like,
But it is, wow. It's all the
believe it's been that
entertainers
long?
are
And
there. I
Jeff
think about
Goldblum's
half the
fun.
people there were entertainers.
Yeah. So I didn't meet him. So what was he like?
He's very funny. I actually interviewed
Will
him for the
Smith?
original
Goldblum.
Independence Day in 1996.
Ooh.
And I went up to him and was like, hey, remember that? And he remembered, and we had a lovely moment. And he's very, very funny. And
Is he in the new one?
I think he is.
They're all in.
They're
That's
all
why
in.
Vivica said they were all there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I loved that movie.
Is it one of ours, 20th Century Fox?
I believe so.
Do you know one of the funniest
so.
reactions I saw all
Okay, now
night,
I
and I
feel
think
like I need
Harris
to
and I
Google
both
that.
pointed this out, was we had a big screen of Obama right in front of us. I mean, we could see him clearly while he was giving his very, very funny.
Oh, he was
Kennedy,
hilarious.
do you agree?
I thought he was. I laughed
was
the entire time.
hysterical.
I thought Larry
Hire a
Wilmore,
fantastic comedy
by
writer.
contrast, it's not just the writing though. I mean, his delivery,
His
delivery and
is so
timing.
incredible,
Delivery
and
is good.
the fact that it's his last year, but then Larry Wilmore had to follow him. I thought Larry Wilmore kind of
Bombed it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it wouldn't be
President
easy.
Obama's delivering this very, very funny speech, and Newt Gingrich was in right below the screen, so he's like in my line
With
sight.
his wife, Callista Beautiful.
And with his beautiful wife, and his reaction to that was hysterical, especially the video.
We were watching
John
him.
Boehner and President Obama. And John Boehner's got a glass of red wine, and they're walking down the halls. Newt Gingrich's responses were hysterical. Like,
Oh my gosh! I mean,
Like
he
what?
just-
What did he do?
cracking up, turning red,
Facial
laughing
expressions.
so hard.
We were
he had to,
watching him, but listening to the president.
Gasp
Because
for air.
Callista, the two of them were just laughing hilarious.
No, but the president was very, very funny. I thought it was well written. I thought his video was funny. I definitely appreciate you can completely disagree with the guy ideologically, but the one thing you can't say is that
he dropped Mike. He said
did,
Obama
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
dropped
dropped
My
Mike.
favorite
what
thing
will it
from
be
that
like next
video
year?
was when John Boehner tried to tempt him with a cigarette. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I loved it. That was good.
it was
yes.
it was really a lot of fun. And yes, it's 21st Century Fox, 20th Century
Oh,
Fox.
okay.
Yeah.
What, am I trying? It's 21st
I think we
now, right?
Well, the company is, but they kept the film company 20th Century Fox.
Okay, well, that's who's doing Independence too. Oh, and I got to talk with Celia Ward. Remember, Charlie Gasparino had a crush on her. We didn't know.
He started sweating. And
I know, it was
Oh,
weird.
Charlie usually
always
kills a
You guys
sweating.
got to give him a hard time.
He's always sweating. That's not new.
Wait a
It
minute,
was-
Charlie gave somebody a hard time? You're
No.
kidding.
He was just like
Oh.
he was
he
really,
was like
really just
smitten
he was
over an
schwitzing.
So I
actress.
tapped Miss Ward on the shoulder, who was delightful with
And
this
gorgeous.
thick Southern
Great
Mississippi
gown.
Very
accent.
beautiful.
And I said, if I don't get a photograph with you and the man sitting next to me, he could pass out. And she said, I think he's passing out right now.
No, so then the funny part, she decided to mess with him. She goes, oh, okay. She grabs her lip gloss and goes and introduces herself and, like, puts it on.
Oh,
like,
no.
right
And he's
before
going,
and,
no,
like,
I mean, it was bizarre. But funny. It was really
she
cute.
was
Charlie's usually
good
so
sport.
normal.
She was a good sport.
I'm going to send him an email.
All right.
All
okay,
right.
Well,
Wow,
I know
that was
our viewers are
instructive.
probably wondering, wait, they never got to us, although we hit a record number. Oh. So I want to just bring in some of our viewers. I know Military Brat 716 says when we were talking about ISIS, that 75% of ISIS weapons come from the United States. So that person wanted to get that in just to kind of randomly go through and connect the dots on some people. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of people kind of tuned in at that point to talk about this, and a lot of questions. Let's see.
By the way, that is a great point about ISIS.
and
Remember
also-
all the times that they would take over a village and then take over all of the military hardware that we'd spend billions and billions of dollars that we spent for that hardware in the hands of ISIS.
Will
more
Smith,
time, Jay.
Will Smith is not in the sequel
he's
to
not?
Independence Day. No,
Oh, that's
he is
too
not
bad.
in the sequel.
I liked him
But
a
he
lot.
was fantastic.
Well, Vivica
And-
is.
Yes,
She
Vivica
told me
is.
she has short hair in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, she was telling me. Mile High Vapor says, you could not pay me enough money to go to Iran or Iraq or anywhere in the Middle East. We were talking about the journalists who are.
Someone's got to tell those stories. It's
put
so
in there.
incredibly important
Yeah.
to have an objective view of that part of the world, and it takes an incredible amount of bravery.
Yep.
And we see that with Jason, who fortunately made it back safely to the United States.
All right, we'll move on. Our group is telling us we have to wrap it up. So we'll see you back
That's fun.
tomorrow for the TV version of us at noon.
Thank you,
Eastern.
David.
Thank you,
Thanks,
thank you,
David.
ladies.
Thanks,
Thank you.
bye.
I'll see you at 4.
There you go.